adapt the publishing model. Years ago, most businesses created a brochure, correct? And what did we do with the brochure? Left it on the counter. We tried to get it in as many people's hands as we could, okay? The brochure has been replaced with the what? Website. The brochure today has been replaced with the website. So what is it that you need to do with that website? You need to get your website in as many hands as possible so that you're driving traffic back to kind of like to your brochure. Okay? How do you get your website in as many hands as possible if people aren't looking for you? Anybody know?
Keywords.
Pardon me?
Keywords.
Keywords would tie to SEO, assuming they were looking for you. But what if they're not looking for you?
Make it interactive.
I would say with the comment 5, actually send it out as an email.
Potentially, but they got to know you. Okay. Go ahead.
Driving value, putting content out there that they may not be looking for you, but they're looking for content.
She's got it. You got to put the content out there. How do you get the content out there? You want your content to be on your website. You want to share that content throughout the social media sites that are out there, throughout the internet that's out there, so that when they click on that link, that's your video, that might be your blog. This is the big deal today, the blog. It's going to drive them back to your website. They're going to see what it is you have to offer, and if they're ready to buy at that point in time, they might even buy from you without even meeting with you. This is when Earl was talking about technology and everything being mobile. They may actually go to your website, see what you have to offer, go, wow, that is amazing, and sign up just like that. Okay? So how many of you have your own personal websites? How many of you are blogging today? 2, 3, 4. How many have your website set up as a WordPress website? Some of you do. Good. So those are a couple of key terms for yourselves and for your customers. WordPress website, which allows you to blog, which is going to allow you to share your content on all your social media sites, which is going to drive traffic back to your website, which is going to increase your sales. Many of you are familiar with the term SEO. You brought that up earlier. If you blog, and the blogging can be your webinars, okay? It doesn't have to be written all the time. But if you're doing it on a consistent basis, it is going to automatically help with your SEO. Years ago, people would pay a couple $100 a month to have people manipulate the SEO rankings. If you put the content through blogging, through webinars, through videos out there, it will help with your SEO like that. I've seen it happen over and over and over again. You got to use the right keywords. Remember when we went back to asking your customers how they would Google you. You want to make sure you're using those words consistently, but get that content out there. It can be educational content. It can be types of reviews. You can do a video with a customer doing a review for your products and services. It can be different testimonials. But the key is to get it onto your website, push it out to your social media sites, get people to share that information, and drive people back to your website. Okay? White papers, webinars, frequently asked questions, success stories. These are all different topics that your educational content can be around. These are ideas for your videos as well. People often say to me, this is too overwhelming, which it can be. How do I come up with the ideas of which to do it? Look in your outbox for questions and answers that you're responding to your customers with. Oftentimes, you can come up with some tremendous ideas in your outbox of things to talk about. Okay? When you go out and do a presentation, make note of the questions that your prospects are asking you. Those are things that can be your blog topics, that can be your video webinars on. Okay? Great content to be pushing out there. Okay? Creating a total web presence is what you want to do. And again, think of your corporate website, your business website as the center, and then all the other ideas around it are what's going to drive traffic to your website. The reviews, the pictures. Pictures are huge. Videos, again, the Comment 5 product allows you to do it. Blogging, podcasts, And online PR, there's a lot of online PR sites that you can promote what you're doing. Today's event would be a great PR story, okay? It's ways to get the word out about what you're doing. Go ahead, I'll just do this one. How many of you are advertising? Okay. Is advertising working for you?
It all depends on who you
Yeah.
advertise to.
Okay. I think advertising can be beneficial if it's done correctly, if it's done to your target market. Okay? That's the key. The other key to an ad is there needs to be a call to action. Oftentimes ads are all about you and how wonderful you are, and here's my phone number and you should call me because I'm great. The reality of it is the ad should be about the benefits that you bring to the reader and why you want to drive them to your website, or why you want to get them connected on your Facebook page or your Google Plus page or your LinkedIn page. What's the offer that you have for them? I mentioned white papers a few minutes ago. Comment 5 has a couple of white papers online, don't they, Earl?
Yes.
There's a couple built in there. Those are things that you can be sharing with, your prospects that you can be putting up on your website. PR, I talked about PR a couple of minutes ago. It's a very underutilized tool for getting publicity for what it is that you're doing. And you'll go, oh, I've never heard of them before. All of a sudden, because of the PR piece you put out there, you've got some name recognition and you're getting traffic. Next one. Referrals. I'm all about referrals. I seem to have this reputation known as the networking queen. That's what people talk to me about. I can talk about referrals all day and all night. So it is a great way to be doing business. But you've got to have a system. You've got to have a strategy for developing your referral business. You've got to know how to position that to your prospects that you do business by referral. A lot of times people are afraid to ask for referrals. A lot of times people are afraid to say that they do business by referral. So there's a couple of really good books out there. One's by Bill Cates, one's by Bob Berg. They've written a couple of series on books on them, on referrals. But read up on referrals if you're uncomfortable with it. I'm not the type to say, give me 5 names of people that you think could help. That's not my strategy. My strategy is if you like what I'm doing, don't keep me secret. I think that's a great word that you can use. People will oftentimes ask, how do you get paid? You might tell them 1 or 2 ways you get paid, and at the end you say, best way for you to pay me is to refer me to people that you think would benefit from your products. It's really simple. It's not, it's not too overwhelming. But you've got to make sure that you have a referral strategy, because especially with the Comment 5 business, one of the best ways to grow it is through referrals. Who else do they know that might benefit from the products that we're offering? Last slide. Let's keep going. I got to see this next one. Live by the marketing calendar. Okay? How many of you live by your calendar? Ooh, not too many hands went up on it. Okay?
Schedule, what I have scheduled on my phone.
Yeah. But not a lot of people do, from a marketing perspective. Okay? How many of you schedule out your marketing? How many of you schedule time to follow up on your marketing? A lot of people go to networking events, and Earl actually mentioned this earlier. People go to networking events and get a stack of cards. What do they do with that stack of cards? Oh, I see some smile on your faces. They just kind of sit on the desk. It is a problem with a lot of people. When I'm talking to people about networking, what I always say to them is when you go to an event, the same time you schedule that event, schedule the time for the follow-up. Don't schedule the time to go to the next event. Schedule the time for the follow-up for the event that you went to. Because if you don't schedule the time, oftentimes it doesn't happen. Schedule times when you're going to do that video email. If you say that you're going to do it every Friday at 2 o'clock, make sure that's on the calendar. And nothing becomes more important than getting it done. Because if you're not marketing, if you're not touching those products, prospects, if you're not following the plan that you put in place and measuring what you're implementing, you're not going to see the success that you really could see. So, live by the calendar. Questions?
Yeah. So I go to a networking event tonight at 10:30. Is it appropriate to send somebody an email at 11:30, 12 o'clock at night?
I would probably wait till the next morning.
Schedule it for the next day.
Schedule it for the next morning. Yeah. Schedule it for 7 o'clock in the morning. Okay, wow, he's up early. That's pretty cool. But cell phone, I turn the volume off all the time, but not everybody does that. And if they have their cell phone set where emails come in through their cell phone, and they're getting an email at 11 o'clock at night, you're waking them up, they may not be as happy with you. So my recommendation would be 7 o'clock in the morning
7 a.m.
versus 12 o'clock at night. That's just my own personal preference.
Or you can write it as soon as you get back, especially if you're a night owl like me, and then you set it to go out later the next
Right, which is
day.
what he was saying, schedule it to go the next morning. Yeah. Good question. Other questions? What's the best idea you took from today? Content's king? Content is king. What else?
The referral part. I like the don't keep your secret. I like that.
Good.
I like the process of developing the relationship.
Okay.
The hourglass.
Marketing hourglass. Anybody else?
Another question, but you said, would you refer us?
Okay, good.
Can you go back to the first slide? I didn't write down all of it.
The 7 steps? Okay.
Seven.
Here we go, right there. Well, whoops, where'd you go? There you go. I want to thank you for having me here. I hope that you guys get a couple of ideas. Again, this isn't just for marketing your business. Take these concepts to your clients. If you're dealing with a small business startup, if you're dealing with any business owner, they're probably not thinking about these types of concepts in their own business. And you can be more valuable to them if you're able to share these 7 steps with them. Okay? All right, thanks, everybody.
All right, thank you.
Let's give Debbie another hand. That's great. Again, my name is Charles Mott. I'm a sales manager at Combat 5. And, you know, in every organization, you have a rock. And there's a rock in an organization. We have it in our families. There's that one person in our family we depend upon. You can call them at any time. They're there for you anytime. Well, this organization has a rock. And she's a rock in many ways. She's the one that organized this event today. We had calls as late as 10 o'clock last night to make sure everything was scheduled for this. And I got a call from Connie at 7:30. Are you on your way yet? Are you on your way yet? But I'd like to take some time to introduce a very dynamic person. She is the rock of Combat 5, as Earl can attest to, and many of you here can attest to also. But I'd like to take this time to introduce Connie Bamford. She just got this new title. She's now an executive sales director in Combat 5. She is also the 2011 reseller of the year. So I would like for Connie to come up and say a few words. She's also going to talk a little bit about some of the things that are going on and some of the things we have for the rest of the afternoon, because we're just getting started. We got some great stuff coming up, and definitely I would encourage you to stay for the remainder of the program. So if I could like to bring Connie Bamford up.
Well, thank you, everyone, and hopefully you can hear me. First off, I'd like to welcome you, and Charles, I know, and Paulette, and Earl, and everybody else did a great job of that, but I want to share something with you, because you probably heard, I wasn't here for the presentation of our president and CEO, but you probably heard of Plan B somewhere along today. I'm here to tell you about our Plan B a little bit. I want to share a story, but this is a good example of a Plan B. What happened today? Because we were on the phone at 7:30 and I was fine. I'm going to recommend that you not go to a restaurant in Waldorf, Maryland, if you want to know this restaurant. But this morning I get here and I was not feeling good at all. So I had to run home, and Plan B took effect, which was, first off, the CEO Cafe owner, 2 men and wife, own this facility, and he took sick. So they had a Plan B. She took over. She came in a little bit late. We got a late start in setting up, but the Plan B for us was that Paulette and Charles and a whole lot of other folks here, LaShawn, Philadelphia, Barry out of Atlanta, everybody as a team stepped in, and Plan B took effect. Very, very important to have a Plan B. Now, the Plan B in our personal life is my husband and I have a medical transcription business, which we've had for about 20, I keep saying 23 years, but I keep forgetting a few years have passed. So I guess it's about 26 now. And it has been a very great business. It's enabled us to be home with our children and two sons who are now late 20s, and actually one's early 30s, but anyway, it's enabled us to be there with them because that was our dream at that point. Now, a couple dreams that I've had, and I think folks, probably everybody has a dream. My first dream when I came to Washington, first dream was getting married, having children, did that. That dream came to fruition. Another dream was when I came to D.C., I saw the Capitol building, I saw the White House, wow, awe-stricken. Managed to work in both of those because I had a dream I wanted to do that. Dreams do come true. Anything is possible. The next thing, I wanted to be home with the children, start a business, always wanted to be a business owner. Managed to do that with this medical transcription business. Enabled me to be home with the children. They grew up, they didn't quite need me to do crafts, didn't want to do crafts anymore when they were 28 and 29, so I had to find another outlet, and I borrow little children around. If anybody has any little children, I'll take them. So I have a grandchild, but she's way too young. She's only, 8 weeks, so she's not ready for crafts. But the next dream was to have, with the business that we have, as great as it is, we own that business, but we soon realized that business owned us because we do not have time freedom, period. So I was not even shown, but I was told about a video email. Right away, we knew that we had to become part of this. This was what, I think 5 years ago, Bill, yeah. And I knew that we had to be part of this. And what was a major part of that world was the residual income part. Now, I did miss our president and CEO's presentation, and I hate to miss anything that he says or does because I know you were pretty blown away with what he did share. But the ability to now have probably our last dream come true is the traditional business is not allowing what this business can. So I'm here to tell you that dreams do come true and anything is possible, and the ability to take what we have and take it as far as you want. The thought that probably, let's see, 6 months ago, the thought that I would be ESD, that is one of the highest ranking positions in the company, and the thought that I would be that, and reseller of the year, I wouldn't have even thought of that would have been possible. Through loving the product, which I do, Debbie, I heard part of Debbie's presentation, and I didn't hear all of it, and I know she's dynamite, so I know she did a fabulous job of explaining some marketing techniques, but one of the things that I did hear is video email. I do have a real quick story I want to share with you because in our medical business, there is a woman who has been with us, oh gosh, most of our folks have been with us 20 plus years. We've had that business, I think it's 20, like I said, 26, I guess, 27.
You show your age.
She started at 10 years old.
Yeah, well, I'm very glad too. But she was aloof for probably, I don't know, a month. And this is going back a couple years. And I asked her, I said, Marie, I thought there was something seriously wrong with her health. And I asked her if everything was okay. And she said, it was that email you sent, and I was so upset by that. And I thought, what are you talking about? I don't send text anymore. Whatever it is that she construed from that was so off base. I'll tell you what, I never, and that happens to each and every one of us. The text can't say what we're meaning to say often. The inflection of voice, the meaning, it just is not there. So I saw the power of what we have. Certainly it is a very, very, very serious income. If you want it to be, and if you work at it, it's not overnight, but the ability to, in 6 years, create the leverageability, you saw it today, but the leverageability and the income to shift gears now. That was possible, and is possible for anybody that wants that. So, anyway, that's a little bit of a story of where I'm coming from. I apologize for not, this was a real switch around, but I know with the capable team folks that you've already seen demonstrate their power, everything went very smoothly. You probably didn't even know that it was not happening the way it was going to be. But, you know, welcome folks from Atlanta. We have Philadelphia. Oh, LaShawn back there, yeah. And you know, we're just getting started with what we have, and that's the good news also for me, because I'll tell you, I have many times in my lifetime missed out on opportunities that I wish I would have been part of. You know, some explosion of Microsoft or whatever that came to be. I thought, gee, if I would have gotten involved in that. Well, I didn't want to have another chance to miss out on an opportunity. And again, you've heard our president CEO, who is a total visionary. He is ahead of no one else out there. He knows where the world is going, and he's just there before it. So that is very exciting to those who are involved in this. So we do have a couple things that we want to do yet. We do have a raffle, and because of that craziness this morning, I don't know if everybody got their tickets. So we do, Charles and Paulette are going to go around and see about, see who didn't get a ticket, because we do have a Kindle. Now, Plan B there. Plan B, I stopped 2 places for a Kindle Fire. So nobody had Kindle Fires. I guess it's a hot item. And actually 3 places. We have a Kindle Touch. So it's next best thing. They said actually the salesperson liked it better. So anyway, they're gonna just make sure you get your ticket. And what I would like to do also at this point is, again, this is a little bit of a shift around from what was planned, but we have our president CEO is here, and we're not able to get him very often because he is traveling all around the country. I'll tell you, what we have is just, we are just exploding, I'll tell you. And we have a great team in Maryland and beyond. And what I want to be able to do is bring up our president and CEO again and have him share a little bit about the vision of what is going on in the Combat 5 world. Because I'll tell you, that is another part that really, really, really excites me. Because, and Barry can attest to, I know he spoke earlier, probably mentioned his event in Atlanta. So I'll tell you, what we have, because of knowing him, the individual that he is, and what he brings to our Combat 5 table, it's just very exciting times. So I want to bring him up one more time to share with you the vision of some things that are ahead. And then we're going to break. We'll have our raffle, and then we're going to break for some refreshments, and then we're going to have some hands-on training. Paulette Smith is a trainer by profession with the NIH, and she is, I go to her when I have questions on our product. She's fabulous with the product. She's going to have, we're going to get into actually some of our Office Pro. So bring your hands together, please, and help me welcome our President and CEO, Earl Meehan.
Thank you, Connie. You know, it's funny, I always, the Plan B conversation, it just makes me laugh, because I don't know how your life has been, but I've never had Plan A work. You know, I'm more of like a Plan G kind of guy. You know, you have to have Plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way through it, because, you know, you normally misread that. So I'm going to try to do a couple of things today in a very quick period of time, because I'm not going to be here for the after lunch. But I think I would be a little remiss, and I think some people that know me would be a little bit disappointed if I didn't take some time through sharing with you this morning and focus on the individual, the person. For people that know me most and know me well, you know, more than I am dedicated to being understanding businesses and business, I'm really committed to understanding people. People. And I found that the more I understand people, the better I do in business. So I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to talk a little bit today about the vision of the company, but I really want you to keep that challenge I gave you about being selfish, greedy. And I'd rather you look at the stuff I share with you of how can this be applied to your vision. My vision is irrelevant. I'm going to tell you that. I'm really here to help you get clarity on executing your personal vision. Vastly more important to me. Because if we can align those two things together, we really, truly become unstoppable. We become unstoppable. So one thing I'm going to do is this real quick. I'm going to start off with some math. This is what I'm going to do next. And this is going to be a half an hour or so. Talk about math. Talk about philosophy. Talk about reality. Okay? And it's not a heavy conversation. You know, it's a pretty simple conversation. It sounds cool. It sounds really deep, right? Philosophy. Reality. But this is the deal. This is the math piece of what we're going to talk about. Greatest distance between 2 points is a straight line, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody get that. The shortest distance between 2 points, straight line. You, and let's just call this wherever you want to go, or destiny, right? Or even more generically, there. Wherever there is for you, right? Shortest distance between 2 places is that straight line. This is the problem. That's the math. And the good thing about math is consistent. Math is math. 1 + 1 is 2 in any country in the world, in any country on the planet. But this is the problem. And this is why we need some philosophy. If you're going to take a magnifying glass and really zoom in on this straight line, it's not going to be straight. And I want you to realize that the line's going to have little edges and stuff like that, right? Everybody with me so far? So this is now, let me blow that up for you. This is true, right? This is you. And any place you're trying to go, any place you're trying to accomplish, unfortunately, because you are in the line itself, you see all the details, it really is more like this. That's that straight line between you and success, you and accomplishing what you want, you getting what you want. That's the line. And this is the problem with that line. Because you are in it, when little people's going up, you feel good. When they're going down, you feel bad. It's an emotional drain. It wrecks you. It makes you quit. It makes you angry. It makes you not believe. It makes you do all these different human things we do, right? To get here, so most people never get here. So the reason why we're going to talk about systems today, and the reason why, and everything we're talking about is building on what you just heard on, but I need you to start here to understand, we don't talk about product. Right? I'm going to end up with mobile products and things like that. But that's not the most important thing. The most important thing is kind of this stuff, the philosophy. And this is why you need to understand philosophy. Because when you apply systems designed to get you from where you are to there, the systems are the straight line between where you want to go and where you are and where you want to go. And your individual activity is inside of that. And this is a big idea to understand. This is a really big idea to understand because you can be on target and not realize it because of what's going on that day. Right? Everybody with me? Let me give you another example. Now I'm going to give you another example using the words. That's this exact same idea. And I need you to really get this because if you don't get this piece of it, me telling you about mobile technology and internet, that stuff won't matter. It just won't matter because you won't really understand the true value of it. You won't really embrace it. You won't internalize it. So the other example I like to give is my map example, right? If I were to tell people how to get to my apartment in Vegas, and some of you know where I live in Maryland, none of